Tonight we present our final Don't Trash Our Treasure for 2022, taking a look back at the top 5 stories that made the biggest impact.
Our ongoing mission with this franchise is to enlighten, educate, and engage more of you to care and make a difference.
Number 5.
But it's still a very difficult situation for the manatees.
We end the year right where we began, our manatees in crisis.
These animals are starving.
2021, the deadliest ever for Florida manatees. More than 1,100 dead, the majority starving to death from the massive loss of their only food source, seagrass. Thousands of acres gone due to human pollution.
How much seagrass has been lost in this area?
It's a significant amount.
In February, our Local 10 crew was the first to document this FWC emergency feeding station set up at this intake canal at the FPL plant on the Indian River Lagoon, where every winter some 2,500 manatees gather looking for warmer waters.
Some animals did come in and started eating.
The hungry manatees were fed 2,500 pounds of lettuce a day.
We know we can't save them all, but we're doing the best that we can.
And though this year the number of recorded deaths is lower, those watching over these gentle creatures say the crisis is far from over.
The current situation is still really quite dire, and it is going to be necessary to supplementally feed the manatees this winter.
At number 4, saving our sharks.
The status of shark populations around the world is definitely something to worry about.
With more than 100 million sharks being killed globally each year, last week President Biden signed the monumental Shark Fin Sales Elimination Act, banning the commercial trade of shark fins in the U.S. This on the heels of increased protections for 54 species of sharks just passed by world governments in November. But here in South Florida, there is controversy. A shark fishing tournament held off the coast of Palm Beach in July, ending with 11 bull sharks killed.
Keep going.
Local anglers claim the shark population has boomed in recent years, and more sharks are stealing their catch.
You're losing 50% of what we hook to sharks.
But scientists push back.
So I wouldn't call that a shark boom. Remember, these were populations that were historically overfished. So what you're seeing is recovery potentially of the populations.
From a reckless charter boat crew popping balloons into the bay waters of the Coconut Grove Marina, to this guy on a wave runner chucking a beer bottle right into Biscayne Bay, and more recently, these litter bugs.
There you go.
Trashing a tiny island in Biscayne National Park, all caught on camera. These videos you shared with us went viral, sparked outrage.
Very upset.
And more importantly, triggered action from law enforcement who went after all these polluters and held them accountable with arrests and fines.
That's just another testament to our community trusting its police department, and we took immediate action.
These are dying. They're dying right there.
At number 2, another fish kill in fragile Biscayne Bay.
Because our bay is really crying for help at this point.
Just 2 years after the unprecedented fish kill of the summer of 2020, when the bay lost over 27,000 marine species, it happened again at the end of October.
These fish are suffering right now.
Though not as devastating as 2020, after a week, more than 4,000 pounds of dead fish were removed from the northern basin of Biscayne Bay.
It is pollution coming from septic tanks, from stormwater runoff, from sewage leaks, and from fertilizer.
And while the mission to save Biscayne Bay has never been more urgent, at number 1, another potential blow to that effort.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-4.
In November, Miami-Dade commissioners approved a plan by developers to expand the urban development boundary and convert farmland in South Dade into a new warehouse and commercial complex near Homestead on land conservationists say is vital to Everglades restoration and saving Biscayne Bay.
It is in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava tried to veto the measure.
Not this project, and not now.
But with a supermajority vote, commissioners were able to override that veto and move forward with plans to move the UDB. Not so fast. A longtime Miami-Dade resident has now filed a legal challenge and has petitioned the state for a formal hearing to review the commission's decision. The Hold the Line Coalition is supporting that challenge.
We cannot let that stand.
The fate of Biscayne Bay, Everglades restoration, and farming in South Dade all hang in the balance.
And there are quite a few more petitions by other developers to further move the UDB. The Miami-Dade Board of County Commissioners will begin to review those applications in the coming year, with 6 new commissioners now joining the board. We will be watching. For a deeper dive into all these stories we featured today, as well as all of our environmental reports, we have them all cataloged for you on our website. Just scan that QR code on your screen. It'll take you straight to the Don't Trash Our Treasure section on local10.com.
Such important stories, and thank you for opening our eyes and enlightening us to all of this.
My pleasure.